A look at the news, views, politics, sports, and people that are shaping Rutherford County. Listen each weekday morning at 9 o'clock for the Roundtable here on News Radio WGNS.
The Atlanta Braves are on FM 101.9 and AM 1450, Murfreesboro, FM 100.5, Smyrna. I'm Ben Ingram. Your home of the Braves is WGNS.
The Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and online at WGNSradio.com. This is the Roundtable. A look at the news, views, politics, and people that are shaping Rutherford County.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Tuesday morning edition of the Roundtable with your hosts, Wayne Blair and Rick Hall. We come to you every Tuesday morning here at WGNS Studios in Murfreesboro. And good morning, Wayne. How are you, buddy?
Good morning, Rick. Doing very well. I was hoping spring had sprung, but I think we're back in winter for a little bit, so I don't think Mother Nature can make up her mind presently.
My heat and air unit don't know what to do. I keep hitting that switch. I'm going the air to heat, to heat.
Well, some of our old schools run off of systems that you either have to be cold,
one or the other.
Either heat or air conditioning, and I don't know how many of those we still have out there because so many have been changed over, but this will drive you crazy. Parents don't know if they need to send their children in heavy winter coats inside the school or
Well, Wayne, I think we've talked a lot about when you were growing up. So y'all didn't have heat and air. You had a window, right? You had to open and close.
We did
open
not.
And close. Isn't that what it was?
In my school time, Thurman Francis, my 1 year there, we had air conditioning. Pettus can talk to this as well, but
no such animal.
The
windows were up or the windows were down.
Walking 6 miles one way to school every day in the snow.
Yes, sir, pretty much. So, hey, Brother Rick, congratulations to the Lady Raiders.
Yes, sir.
Oh wow, just amazing. Just Louisville better watch out. I feel good about this team.
We took it to them the last time we played them.
Yeah. So, let's have at them.
Hey, fingers crossed.
Yeah, go Blue Raiders.
I was trying to remember what year it was when the MTSU men went so far, and they got in the Sweet 16. It was 10 years ago, maybe?
8 years ago.
8 years.
Yeah. Was that
That's the first one against Michigan State.
Actually,
Michigan State, yeah.
Actually, that was like yesterday or day before yesterday?
Seems like it.
It was. It was what, the 18th of March, wasn't it?
Yes.
It was.
Other day.
Other day.
Yeah.
I think I saw a Facebook post this morning with Upshaw, one of the players, and that was wow. Talk about a game. Just sitting on the edge of your seat. I was supposed to be working that day, but I was watching the game.
Yeah.
I was down at Sam's down here watching it down there. And,
oh, really?
And I tried to come up to the square. People just stopped in the middle of the street up here at the square and got out of their cars and cheered and all this sort of thing. I mean, the whole town just quit. And I had an MTSU flag, and I carried it inside, and I said, "Can't we not run this up?" And we did. We put it on the flagpole out there.
That's cool.
That is cool.
And then they changed the lights to blue on the courthouse, and
Rick,
big time.
If you can bear with me, tell a quick story. When I was on the school board, and right after that, I went to a conference I was on the state school board too, and went to a conference in Chicago, and get on the elevator to ride down to the meeting area, and a young lady with a green Michigan State sweatshirt was on the elevator too, and I had, like I seem to always wear something with an MT logo, and our eyes met, and I pointed at my logo, and she said, "I know." So that was one of the funniest occurrences after. But what a great team!
It is.
Great game.
Those young ladies, boy, they just You know, sometimes they can scare you to death. You know, when they first start off, you went, okay, where are we today?
Yeah.
But then when they get it all together, it's just something else.
I tell you what, they can rain threes when they want, when
They
they're
do.
hot. So
They go through that string music that really sets the stage.
yep. Brother Rick, this morning, it's our pleasure to have a good friend, community leader, commissioner, chairman, writer, maybe correspondent, Pettus Reed, and of course we invited you for a specific topic this morning, but we'll also let you delve into whatever you want to as well, Mr. Chairman.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
That's really dangerous because you'd be surprised. People said, "Come here and talk," because you can talk on anything. I said, "Yeah." That's the danger of inviting a writer, because give him a subject and he'll work on it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think Rick was listening the other day at his desk to your commission meeting, and he had turned up the sound. My desk is just not very far from him. I'm doing some part-time work, and it was the last part of the commission where you could just bring up new business, and Rick suggested, we need to talk about this.
Yes, the commission, I think, is quite concerned about what's happening in the county. People are continually talking to commissioners about the concerns of where we're going, the growth that we have, and then also, last year we had the 16% tax increase. And they all want to know now, what are y'all going to do this next time? Well, where are we? Where are things happening? And what are you doing to deal with these things? Well, that is a major concern, I think, of every commissioner that sits on those positions. There are 21 of us. And no matter if you're a commissioner in Kittrell, Las Casas, Walter Hill, Rockvale, wherever you are, or in the city of Murfreesboro, we've got people out there that love Rutherford County, but they are concerned about, the changes we're seeing, the things that are happening, are not necessarily the changes we would like to have for our county. We are a county that has 622 square miles in it. And that's what we look after, and that's what we're responsible for. Within that 622 square miles, we have 4 municipalities. Some people say 4 municipalities? What were you talking? City of Murfreesboro, City of Smyrna, City of Laverne, and the City of Iggleville. Mm-hmm. Iggleville now is starting to see growth within its boundaries. There are new development down there. There's new things happening there. So when we look at the county and what we have to deal with, you subtract those things that are the municipalities, we definitely have 400 square miles still that we have to take care of. Then you look at the school systems that we have in Rutherford County, the number of students out there. I think they're saying right now 52,000 students, I think we have. That's a fairly good-sized city when you think about that every day are in buildings that belong to the county, and the number of schools. I run into individuals from other counties, and I was at the Tennessee Soil Conservation convention out here at Embassy Suites. I spoke at a luncheon out there last week, and someone from another county said, "How many schools are in Rutherford County?" And when I told them over 50, they just couldn't believe it. "You have that many schools?" I said, "Yes, we do." And sometimes I can't believe that, when you start thinking, but I've got 4 in my district alone. So these are things we deal with, and then we have a budget that close to 75% of it goes to the school systems. So we are continually involved in trying to think of, okay, how do we take care of these things? How do we come up with this? And we are a county that the only source of income is from that tax base, the property tax base. So we have to be very conservative in what we do. Of course, there are those that will holler, say, well, you give them $1,000 and they'll spend $1,000. Not true. Not true. You have both a county commission, you have both a school board that are every day working with every penny that they've been given to make it go as far as can be. I think you could call your school board, you could call your county commission penny pinchers if you had to say that, because that's what they do. They do not look at some way of just how to spend it. That's what I've seen over the time I've spent here. We are now in our budget process. Those individuals will spend long hours and days trying to make this budget balance. We're a 3-star county as far as budget is recognized. Not many counties, or very few counties in the state of Tennessee, are in that level of being recognized out here. That means you're top as far as conservative and using the money that's given to you. And we work hard to keep that. But as we do this and trying to make it work, it means that we have areas that are not getting what I would say they really, really need. Because we have to give it to somewhere else. We're just like a family out here that you're needing funds, but yet you don't have it. You've got to pay the grocery bill. You've got to pay the health bill. You got to take care of the children and whatever you got to do. You've got to do these things. A county government is the very same way. We have all these things that we have to do and have to pay for. Yeah, we have a lot of wants, but we also have to take care of those necessary needs that's got to be done. And that's where we are right now. This year and last year, we wanted to do something in particular that would give us an opportunity to come up with some funding that would take it off the taxpayers of Rutherford County. We wanted to find some way that we didn't have to go to the property tax system to keep the taxpayer from having to pay all the bill. And that was to pay for growth, new growth, and let that new growth help pay for itself. That's what we wanted to do. So we come up with a process where it would give our county the same capability as Williamson County, Wilson County, the city of Murfreesboro, the city of Smyrna, the city of Laverne, all the municipalities have, to give us the same tool in our toolbox as they do to pay for some of the growth. And that was to give us the chance to come up with an impact fee. And in other words, to tax the building within the county. We had it to go down there to the legislature last year. It was blocked within the committee. It was blocked by one of our own state representatives.
Right.
Representative Tim Rudd blocked it. He said we didn't need it. So we didn't have that. We didn't have that extra funding in there to help us pay for those things. And due to that, we had to use nothing but property tax to have to pay off some of the schools and things that we had. So it caused us to have a 16% tax increase. This year, we went back with another one, asking for the very same thing, going before a subcommittee. Just, I guess, 3 weeks now, I went down there with a county delegation. I went down there with our school director. I went down there with chairman of our budget committee. I went down there with our mayor. I went down there with other members of our county commission. We had members of TCAS that was there too, that was available. We had a good delegation of individuals to go before this committee. We were there ready to present what we had wanting to do and what we wanted to present why we actually need it. All we were asking for is not to affect other counties in the state, but to give Rutherford County a tool to help us deal with continued growth. As Representative Charlie Bond, who carried it into the House, and Senator Shane Reeves was going to carry it into the Senate, when we come forward on that, we didn't even get a motion to allow us to do so. All the representatives sitting on that panel, I thought it was quite interesting. They put their heads down and act like we wasn't even there. I made a picture of them sitting up there doing that. And I said, and when I looked at the picture, I said, I've seen this picture before. I said, you know what he looks like? I said, if you've ever looked at an old Bible and the picture of the Pharisees when Jesus come before them, that's what it looked like. I said, they're just sitting up there.
Well, they were looking at the checks they just picked up.
Yeah.
That's simple. Just fold it up, put it in your pocket, and open it and look at it when it calls time to make the call for the, like you're talking about, the motion to have it. They just look at the number of zeros they have behind them checks.
Yes. And what we found out, they had all been polled. They'd all been bought and paid for. And they had been told, no, you can't vote on this. So we did not even get an opportunity to even present it. And, you know, I worked for Farm Bureau 44 years, not for the insurance company, but for the organization, for the farmers. And I'd been in the legislature a number of times. In fact, I was even in the press corps down there for a time. I really hadn't seen that. I never seen a member of the representative body treated as Charlie Bond was. It was just quite embarrassing. They at least let you come up and present what you want to do, and then they kill you with the votes.
Right.
I understand that. I mean, that happens in the commission. I mean, for sure. I mean, yeah, go ahead, tell us what you want, but no.
Right.
I mean, I get that. But they did not even give the county group an opportunity to show what they had.
The thing I learned about that is we hear a county delegation up there that has no clue how the state government works. They've not met. They've not talked to the people of that board. Only the outside firms have talked to them and wrote checks. But our own delegation has not spoke to the first person on that board.
Not true.
So you think they talked to them and then they did it anyways, or they talked to them afterwards?
You know, I know the chairman had even talked to our chairman of the commission. He had heard from them. But these are in other counties that do not have any problem the problem that we have. But you know, you would think that our delegation would talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
No, we had no support whatsoever. You know, you got to understand too that we were coming up against other counties that are out there that have no way of trying to help us do this. And we're not the only county that's experiencing this. There are other counties out there too. But you got to look at the fact that Williamson County, they have impact fees. Wilson County has impact fees. They're not having the problem. But Rutherford County, we're sitting here, we're locked that we can't. Now, several years ago, we did have the time to walk into an adequate facilities tax. We're locked into that. It's not doing anything for us. It's just not really providing any revenue. Well, there is possibly coming up today a vote for to change that adequate facilities tax. It's being sponsored by Representative Tim Hicks from Gray, Tennessee. Been to Gray, Tennessee?
I have no idea where it is.
That's just it. I mean, they're really having the growth up there. I mean, you know. But he is sponsoring this. Where it is right now, that adequate facilities tax is, you know, what we have right now is $1 per square foot on a house. It does provide us some extra funding, but not the funding that we're totally needing. And they're going to add 50 cents to it. In fact, Representative Rudd said, we're going to get you 50 cents. Well, to me, when you're going to give us 50 more cents, that's sort of like the play Oliver, you know. He walks up and says, please, sir, may I have more?
Right.
That's just a little bit more, and we're talking about somewhere in the neighborhood that'll give us maybe $3 to $7 million more. You've been on the school board before. What does $3 to $7 million give you on a school?
Maybe a roof.
Yeah. So that's where we are, and that's what that's going to do. So that's where it is. And this bill, the adequate facility tax, come to us in 2006. And that's how long we've been dealing with. They changed it to the square footage in 21. But let me tell you what's happening now. This bill is going to have what I call tentacles. It's sort of like, you know, you've played ball on the ball field when the guy who owned the baseball started changing the rules on you. They're changing the rules.
Yes, sir.
And what this one will have in it right here is the next time that it comes, we have another census. We are going to have to make, I think it's a 20% increase in our growth. And if we do not reach that growth rate, in other words, they're going to look again at how you're growing, and if you don't reach that 20% growth, you're out. You don't get it anymore. So you've got to continue growing to continue to get the adequate facility tax.
But you're exponentially already so large that if you grew by 20%, it'd be nightmarish.
But yeah. Plus, when the number gets so large, that means you got to have a whole lot more.
Yeah.
So you could actually get 19.5%, you're out. And what this does right here, it just means, too, that a county who's trying to control its growth, and they're trying things to sort of slow it down a bit, they can't do that.
Sure.
So what you're trying to do to help with some of the things that are happening, you can't do that because you've got to keep the growth going. So, yeah, you know, you got a horse out here running. He's running really good, but you want to keep beating him to get him faster and faster. Well, you're killing your horse.
Right.
And you know, I understand all these things. I understand what everybody's trying to do. Representative Tim Hicks up in Gray, he's a home builder.
I was going to say, I looked him up, and sure enough, he's second term, and he's Gray, Tennessee's up near in between Johnson City and Kingsport, Tennessee. But yeah, he owns a construction company.
And then, of course, you know, Representative Rupp's a realtor. And you know, in my book, that's called conflict of interest to me. But you know, this is how it's all working right now, and who we're competing with. We're competing with the developers and the realtors and what they want. I understand that's their business, but my business are people of Rutherford County, and how do we do what we got to do?
We got to take our first break, but maybe when we come back, because I know Representative Rudd kind of represents the same your district out there in Rockville.
Yes.
So I'm just curious what people around there, but we'll take our first break and we'll go into that when we get back, if that's okay.
Okay.
All right, we're going to take our first break. We'll be right back with you in just a minute.
Tire World's annual at-cost tire sale is finally here. For 1 week only, all passenger and light truck tire brands will be sold at cost, plus an additional 20% off the installation. Want more? Okay. Get up to another $100 back by double dipping with manufacturer rebates. The sale is short, but the savings are huge. That's because Tire World doesn't put discount in its name, it puts the discount in your pocket.
At Tire World, we keep your family rolling.
This is Doris Ann with the Rutherford County Farm Bureau, and I'm honored to tell you about National Ag Day on March 19th. Agriculture is no doubt our most important industry, and on Ag Day we are proud to celebrate the less than 2% of the population who provide us all with food, fiber, and fuel. So if you ate today, thank a farmer and join us in celebrating a group of people who deserve to be praised every day for what they do, but especially on Ag Day.
In a world where some saw only an open field, Middle Point Landfill saw an opportunity for dreams to flourish. You see, in 2019, Middle Point made a $125,000 investment into the Oakland High School football field, which was an investment into tomorrow's leadership. The turf that Middle Point helped to lay at Oakland helped pave the way for some students to become standout players at schools like UT and MTSU, and one became a coach at LSU just last year. We're Middle Point Landfill, and we're proud to support the dreams of our youth.
Life is challenging and ever-changing. Take control with passive income through real estate investing. Learn how. Learn now. Let Del Walmsley and Lifestyles Unlimited's investors and mentors show you. Meet Del's team live in Chattanooga 2 days only at the Marriott downtown, Saturday and Sunday, May 4th and 5th. Register now at GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. That's GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Enter promo code 2024 for a special discount offer. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Code 2024.
Finding that missing shin guard. Remembering whether it's a home or away game. Getting the right kid to the right playing field on the right day. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple so you can worry about more important things. Like not being that fan. Oh, come on, Ref! That's simple human sense.
Rayburn Insurance in Smyrna.
Come see me, Rick Hall, at Rayburn Insurance in downtown Smyrna today.
This is Good Neighbor Events with Bart Walker. Brought to you by AmeriCare Pest Control and the law offices of John Day.
This is a paid legal ad.
When a family member is lost as a result of someone else's negligence, the grief can be unbearable. It also leaves you with a lot of questions like, how did this happen? Who's responsible? And is my family going to be okay? That's a lot to go through, but with the law offices of John Day on your side, you don't have to go through any of it alone. We understand what you're going through, and we have the experience to get the answers, justice, and compensation your family deserves. Call the law offices of John Day.
For 77 years, you've depended on WGNS for letting you know what's happening here at home. Would you like to learn more about our local history? This Saturday, come on over to the one-room Ransom Schoolhouse and talk with friends from the Rutherford County Historical Society. That's any time between 9 and noon this Saturday, plus free coffee and donuts there. Ransom School is at 717 North Academy Street. Also, there are 2 grief support group meetings every week here in Murfreesboro. One is at 10 Wednesday mornings at the St. Clair Street Senior Center, and the other is the day after that. It's a walking grief support tour, and they start walking Thursday mornings at 9:30, right there at the picnic shelter at Oakland's Park, next to Oakland's Mansion. And they're both free. The Technology Engagement Center over on Minerva Drive is offering free computer classes, Mondays at 3:30 and Tuesdays at 2:30. They're both free. Now, this is a part of the Rutherford County Library System. Those are WGNS Good Neighbor Events.
Rutherford weather.
We'll see sunny skies here this afternoon with a high into the upper 50s. Winds out of the southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 20. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on News Radio WGNS. Currently, it's 25.
Broadcasting from the Middle Tennessee Electric Studios. Take control of your account management and energy consumption with the MyMTE app. Download from the App Store and manage your account, improve your energy habits, and more. MTE, serving to make life better since 1936.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and worldwide at WGNSradio.com.
And good morning. Welcome back to the second segment of Tuesday Mornings with Rick and Wayne. And it's our pleasure and honor this morning to have Commissioner, Committee Chairman, Community Leader Pettus Reed. The main focus of our topic this morning has been relieving the tax burden of our property owners.
It is, and I just have to tell you, Wayne, that I stop around all the way out there in my district, and of course, District 8 has a lot of rural area in it. I have a lot of rural area that's located out that way. It's one of the last districts, I guess you would say, out there that has a lot of rural. I stop every weekend a lot of places that I normally do, and people will immediately stop and ask, what are we going to do about the continued density we have in Rutherford County, the continued growth? What are we going to do about paying for all of this? How are we going to handle some of these things? And how are we going to make these changes? And in fact, recently I've had people telling me, said, we need an impact fee. We really need an impact fee. And I tell them, well, we got problems. We can't get that through the legislature down here due to these things. And that's what they're telling me. Now, I do have that. They're telling me that. They want us to slow down growth. They want us to find some way to stop some of this. But we've got people that are coming to this county due to the fact of our tax rate, actually coming for our tax rate. I had a call the other day from a gentleman that's been here, I know, for 2 years for sure, but he was all upset. He said, are y'all going to raise our taxes again this year? And I said, sir, I can't tell you that. I said, we are working on the budget right now. Our goal is not to do that. We don't want to do that, but I can't tell you for sure what that will be. We'll work all the way to June. In June, we'll make that determination. And he said, well, I can't stand it. I can't stand another tax rate. He had moved here from Brooklyn, New York. And I just asked him, I said, could you just tell me why you moved here from Brooklyn, New York? He said, yeah, I moved here for your tax rate. It was so low, and I just knew this is where I needed to be. I said, yes, sir, I could understand that. But I said, we also have other people that are moving here from some other places too because of that tax rate. But I said, do you understand, as more and more people move here, and we're placed in situations where we have to educate your schools, we have to continually work and fill our roads and deal with those things, we have to increase law enforcement, we have to increase the number of ambulance runs, we have to do all these things. It's costing us, and our taxes will be going up. And I said, do you know you're causing the problem? And he got real quiet, and he said, I never thought about that. I said, I can't guarantee you the tax rate will stay where you thought it would stay. And he said, well, I just hope it does, because it's really affecting me. And I said, that's just it. I'm afraid you're bringing the problem that you had right here to us. And we're trying to figure some way of trying to handle it. And when you talk about density and the number of building and all this sort of thing, just this morning I was thinking, of course, my education is in agriculture. My career was in agriculture. I'm an agricultural writer. And today's National Ag Day. But when I look at a field, I look at how green it is. I look at what kind of crops out there. When I like to see corn and different things growing, soybeans, and there's nothing I don't think it's any prettier than a new crop coming up. But when someone whose occupation is building or whatever, they think there's nothing any more prettier than the number of houses they can stick per acre. And in fact, I've been in arguments back and forth. I said, I'd like to see the lot sizes a little bit larger. And they tell me that's a waste of land. So you're wasting land. Well, I'm also a historian. And I look at houses that have been built, and I've seen where houses have been removed. Do you know when you build a house on a piece of land, after a period of time, that soil underneath the house dies? It actually dies. That land becomes dead. And some people say, well, why would that be? Okay. That soil has no sunlight.
Sure.
It has no nutrients from rain, snow. Snow will actually give soil nitrogen. That's why I love to see good snows come to us. because that tells me in the spring you're going to see some of the greenest grass. You're going to see clover come back. It's actually giving nitrogen that we as farmers don't have to put any more nitrogen down on our crops. That soil that's under that house with no nutrients, you don't get the earthworms, you don't get any of that. And now under our houses, we now put plastic down that anything under there can't live anymore.
Sure.
So when you remove a house, where that house was there, the soil's dead. So we kill a lot of soil when we put that out there. So that's what we're doing when we build all these houses. That's one crop.
So are you hearing that from the majority of people out there then?
What's
hey,
that?
Stop this growth.
Yes, that's what I hear. And of course, you got to understand these people out there. A lot of them have grown up in agrarian type homes too.
Well, it's hard too because 99 is your main road going out that way, and when you get to Rockville High School and you see just past it now where that whole hillside's being demolished and
that right
over.
there, that right there turned a lot of people against development.
It's hitting you in the face every time you go home or go to work in the morning. You're going to look over there, and you know your school's already. You know, I have 2 kids in that school over there, and I'm driving by and I see all them houses, and all of a sudden we're going to put portables and.
That's 68 acres with a possibility of 180 houses.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Right there on a rock hill.
That's right.
On a rock hill, plus the water runoff that's going to come off of that.
Yeah.
So that's coming too. So that's where we are and what we have to deal with. I'm also chairman of the Planning Commission in this county, and we are right now in a comprehensive plan that we are rebuilding, and we're trying to look at how we're going to zone these things, how we're going to work with these things. What we were given as an ultimatum of how we were working with our comprehensive plan. See, we can't look at something anymore and say, okay, we're going to fix this. We're going to do this for the next 5 years and see how it works. We're looking at what we got to see down the road for 30 years. What's going to be left out there? What's going to be left for those children you have in school to see? Is it going to be rest of Rutherford County? It's going to be all houses, or is there going to be green space? Now, when you tell individuals that are building, we need green space, we're not talking about green space is going to be where the step system is. They need to see something. When you see that out there at Rockvale, all the trees are gone. All the heartwoods are gone. Everything's gone. I mean, they clear cut it, and right now they're grinding it all up. So it's gone. That's all gone. And it makes you wonder what else is going to happen like that. We are seeing in Rutherford County now, when all the main building began, it began in a corridor down the center of the county. That's where all the green farmland was, and it's easy to build on flat land that's green. There's not anything that's causing any problem. Now, what is left in Rutherford County around the edges, a lot of that is substandard soils. A lot of that is sinkholes. A lot of that is rock. And to build in there, you have to use your creative engineering skills and how to build on it. Because if you don't, you're going to add to problems within the surface water. You're also going to add into flooding within other areas. Because a lot of this land, like going towards Rockville and Eagleville, it's easy to change the water to flood somebody else downstream. And you really have to go in retention ponds and things of this. You look at Dale Webb out here on 96. That's over 1,500 homes in there.
That's right.
They have taken, I know, 32 acres of wetlands that they're going to keep. And where what we requested in retention for Dale Webb, they just increased the number because they are trying their best to keep any type of runoff off of that property from going on anybody else. And they're creating a retention system that keeps it all on the property, and it gradually goes away on its own.
Hopefully.
And they have done. Of course, they haven't built anything yet. But what we are seeing now is what they've done with it so far. It's really working. They've really decreased it. They're building several large ponds. So I'd like to see more of that done in our development, using natural things of this type. So there are a lot of things that are happening. What's happened in our PUDs, that's planned unit developments, we've gotten some of the lots down so small that we're getting complaints from our utility companies. They can't get everything on the lots. They're causing problems there. In fact, we've had to have setbacks that, like the tanks for step systems, Middle Tennessee Electric's has to go underground. One affects the other one, and they're there. And once they have all that in and leave, the homeowners are coming out and planting trees on top of the tanks.
Oh, no.
Because they want a tree.
Sure.
And what it is, the lots are so small, the lots just really can't have some of these things. So there's all different things and all types of things that involve in all these that you have to make it work and what. So there's a lot of problems.
We're getting a lot of texts in because obviously it's a hot subject with everybody. And that's one of the texts that we got in that they're like, why? Because it's affecting our future so bad, why can't we say no? And, that's another thing like we're fighting with the state legislators. Hey, we need an impact fee to help fund these things. The same state legislator locked us a long time ago and said landowners' rights become before anything else. So if you own a piece of land and you want to sell that piece of land for set amount you can. And if somebody wants to put a house on that, as long as it meets the code requirements that we have, they have a right to put that subdivision in.
That's true.
And due to state law, we can't stop it.
That's true. And the thing is, and people all the time saying, well, the farmers are making all the money. They're selling their farms and whatever. Yeah. But you know what a lot of these farmers are doing? Everybody's saying, well, they're retiring and they're living on their money. No. A lot of them are going to other counties.
That's right.
They're going to other counties where they can farm.
I know that two that did. They headed west. And
I do too. I know several.
Tripled their land and doing the same thing they were doing before with deeper pockets this time.
But my question in that is, how far can we run? We've done this before. We've done this before. We've had people who left the east to go to the west. Mm-hmm. We've done it in covered wagons. Now we're doing it in Mayflower moving vans.
That's right.
And I mean, we're out of it. The good Lord's quit making it.
Yep.
You're listening to County Commissioner Pettus Reed. We're going to have to take our second break, and we'll be right back with you in just a minute.
Hi, this is Chip Walters with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates. You might know me as the voice of the Blue Raiders, but I want to be your trusted advisor in real estate. Whether you're buying or selling, it's time to choose Chip. Do you have a growing family and need to upsize? Are you an empty nester now and need to downsize? Are you thinking of selling your current home but just worried you can't find something else? Well, it's time to choose Chip. I'm looking to be your trusted advisor in real estate. I'm Chip Walters with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates.
Hi, this is Bob Cornell, pastor of Covenant Church right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. The answer that you've been looking for is found in Jesus and what he accomplished at the cross. You see, Jesus changes lives from the inside out. We would love for you to join us at Covenant Church, located at 1124 Brinkley Ave right here in Murfreesboro. We have services Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. and Tuesdays at 7 p.m. You can learn more about us at our Cornell Ministries YouTube channel. We want you to grow in Christ at Covenant Church.
This is Kim Dunaway from Sunshine Nutrition Center. You hear me on Monday mornings at 7:20 talking about how to lead a healthier lifestyle. We carry supplements, personal care, and grocery items at both our Murfreesboro and Smyrna locations, family owned and operated since 1989.
Here at Bud's Tire, we make buying Michelin tires simpler. I'm Allison Mitchell with Bud's Tire Pros. We offer a straightforward approach to service, including nationwide warranties with every purchase. Stop in today to see our full lineup of Michelin and BF Goodrich tires. For whatever you drive, Michelin and BF Goodrich have a tire to fit any need. Bud's Tire Pros, hassle-free, guaranteed. We're located on East Main Street, exactly 3 miles from the town square, 1 mile past Rutherford Boulevard. Visit us online at budstirepros.tn.com.
Hi, this is Trevor at Bell Jewelers. If you're looking for a new watch, we have Longines and Seiko. And then in the pre-owned market, we have pre-owned Rolexes and Tag. You can keep up to date with that on our Instagram and TikTok. If you're trying to sell your pre-owned Rolex, bring it by to Bell Jewelers and we'll give you an offer for it. And if you're looking for a pre-owned Datejust, Submariner or GMT, come to buy Bell Jewelers. We have those items here in store right now. Bell Jewelers, 821 Northwest Broad, across from Toots.
The Omaha Steaks semi-annual sale is here. Get 50% off site-wide and save on mouth-watering favorites today. Go to omahasteaks.com and shop the semi-annual sale where you can load up on all the delicious flavor you crave at half the price. And when you use promo code SIZZLE at checkout, you'll get an extra $30 off your order. Save big on delicious, tender, juicy steaks, big, beefy burgers, and so much more. That's omahasteaks.com, promo code SIZZLE at checkout. Minimum purchase may apply.
Omaha Steaks, America's original butcher.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and worldwide at WGNSradio.com.
Welcome back to the third and final segment of Tuesday Mornings with Rick and Wayne. And it's been our pleasure this morning to have Commissioner and Committee Chairman and Community Leader Pettus with us, and we're talking about the adequate facilities tax and the burden that the property tax has on our county citizens to pay for the things that we have to have, like public schools and jails and the sheriff's department. Having had a lot of experience with the school system over the years, we were always criticized for not utilizing all of our talents, but looking at what Rutherford County has done over the last, several years, they have a robust, forget the term we use for children studying from home online.
Homeschool.
Yeah, well, no, it's a virtual school. I'm sorry. Had a senior moment.
It's online education.
Yeah, they have a robust virtual school which takes children out of the physical school. They're utilizing dual enrollment, especially I think in Laverne. They're actually going to Motlow. They're using every nook and cranny in these facilities. They're building on like. With Smyrna High and Riverdale and Oakland right now, just anything they can do to get the children out of these trailer classrooms. And the school system is doing exactly what you said. They're utilizing, they're penny pinching every penny they can, and they're just, they're behind. We're growing at a faster pace than what the facilities are being constructed.
That's it, and totally and completely, that's where we are in Rutherford County right now, is that it's one of those situations, we've got the wagon before the horse. I've had people say, well, why don't you build the roads first before you build the houses? I said, well, that sounds good, but, it doesn't work anymore. Right. It's just not there. We're too far down the road doing this sort of thing. We've got an ambulance service right now. 4,000 runs a month is what we're doing in Rutherford County. Wow. 4,000 a month. Every one of our first responding services are like this now, and then that all has to be paid for. We've got other department. We got a fire department here that we haven't bought a new vehicle for in I don't know how many years. All our fire engines have over 100,000 miles on them. We're now like NASCAR. We have a truck that stays ready to go and work on those vehicles so they can keep running.
Well, they're $1 million now.
They are.
Fire truck.
We would like to have a ladder truck. We do not have a ladder truck in Rutherford County. We have to to request one help. If we need one, we'll have to request help from one of the municipalities that do have one. We're building 2-story schools, and we don't have a ladder truck.
Right.
So these are things that's a need, but we're not in that position to take care of that situation. So we've got to do something. I told you that we are working on a comprehensive plan right now. The comprehensive plan that we're looking at, we just met last week. That comprehensive plan is going to have some things in it that will be making changes for the area around Rutherford County. That's where most of the land's left now. And what we're hoping there is to preserve some of that land where the next generation can actually see what Rutherford County is and what the future we hope to preserve. When you have development now that actually has lots that are so small that we can't get all the utilities on that lot, that's a problem.
Yes.
That's a major problem. And we're going to have to do something. And we have a comprehensive plan steering committee that is actually seeing these things, that, hey, we've got to pull back somewhere. But I just mentioned to you about this adequate facility tax, that if we don't meet that percentage of growth the next time it comes up, we don't get that money. Well, we have to look at, I've heard a commissioner too says, well, at least, we didn't get the impact fee, but at least we're getting something. Guys, you can sell your soul for a little bit of money that's going to take everything away later on, that you don't get nothing.
Right.
So, I'm not one that says, okay, I'll just take whatever you get me. I just don't feel that way. I think, I want to get for the people of Rutherford County what the people of Rutherford County feel like they really need and what they want. And what they tell me out there in my district is, just like what we've said right here, can't you say no? I can say no. I can say no.
You're fighting for your constituents.
I'm fighting for my people. I didn't become a commissioner to be reelected. Now, I'll just tell you that. I've always said, if you don't want me there, I'll go to the House.
So there's a council person in Smyrna that started voting no on condos. They finally said, hey, enough's enough.
Well, he's a brave guy.
And they're voting no on condos. So if 14 commissioners vote no on these developments, the county's going to get sued.
Oh, yeah.
And the only other option, and I remember it got floated when I was on commission, because we had the 08, crash and everything going on. There was, I think it was Johnson City or somewhere like that set in place some kind of moratorium there for a little while, and it got floated in Smyrna because we were same time, or in Rutherford County, because it got floated of doing a metropolitan government too, was part of that whole deal they started throwing around. And there's a whole bunch of steps and hoops you got to go through to set a moratorium for a while and things. But I can remember in 08 it being floated and talked about. But we raised taxes 3 out of the 4 years I was on the commission, because of we could either kick the can like it's been done several years, or really want to make a difference while our time was in there. And it only lasted 4 years. And Commissioner Stevens, ran against me to say, hey, he's raising taxes. We need to go back to kicking the can. And kicking the can won. So you're putting yourself out there, but, it's a noble thing to do, because, same time Wayne was on the school board, and when we had Don Odom on, he had the list, and we built or expanded 14 schools in 4 years. And nothing's ever gotten close to what happened during that time. But, we're not tooting our horn, but we've gotten to that point again, unfortunately. And those things got to be talked about.
You're totally right. And we were talking about the farmers, they leave to go farm somewhere else. Right now, if you go down Panther Creek over in my district and come to Midland Road early in the mornings, that road right now is continuous traffic coming out of Bedford County. People are leaving Rutherford County because they can't afford to live here.
That's right.
They're Rutherford Countyans, but they have gone to Bedford County to live. Bedford County put in the PUD system over there, And it overloaded them so much they had to do a moratorium and stop it for 6 months. Because they said, hey, we've got to look at this because it's not working. And they had to rewrite and redo the whole thing. Because now...
Would that get attention?
Oh, yeah, it gets attention right quick.
Whether the fifth or largest county, and all of a sudden we say, hey, we got to halt things for 6 months.
All of a sudden you just put, oh, man, we're putting the brakes on, and we can't do this right now because, first of all, we can't afford it. We can't pay for you.
Yeah.
But you take like this right here, and they're putting in here this percentage. You got counties like Cannon County, Bedford County, then you go up to Trousdale County, then you go to these other counties. They can't make this. They're out of the business.
So I guess if they pass the tax, Rutherford County ought to look at setting a moratorium for, let's say, 6 months to 12 months to relook at everything and let them know ahead of time, hey, if this passes, this is what we're forced to do. That's just me talking. But,
I was going to say, I did not say that.
It'll make people stutter like that.
Yeah.
God bless you for your efforts, your leadership. You certainly are a friend to Rutherford County, Commissioner. Thank you.
This is my home. This is where I was born.
Yes, sir.
I'm proud of what you do. You're right. You're one of the ones that usually stand up and speak your mind on the commission floor, just like the other night, and I appreciate that because
amen.
It's a big difference. You do get paid a little bit. It ain't worth what you get paid to be up there, but at the same time, when you put your heart on to, you used to know back in the year, some did it for the beer money, is what they called it. So
I don't drink.
Yeah, exactly. But I do. I appreciate you as well.
Okay.
Hey, everybody, I hope you enjoyed our show today, and we'll be back again with you, as always, next week on Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock. Have a good day.